So this video is going to show you a few things about this 2013 early Nissan Leaf. So first of all, one of the most important things is how do you charge it? So to open the charge flap, which opens the nose of the car, you need to come in here and you'll see that one opens the bonnet, that one opens the charge flap. You pull it open and then you'll find the two charge ports. Most of the time you'll be using this one. This one's for rapid charging, so kind of motorway services that already have their own cable. Talking of cables, most cars, this one included, will have charge cables in the boot, is where they're normally stored. So this one here is a 3-pin plug one that plugs into a normal household outlet. You also get a fast charge cable which you can use in dedicated chargers in public and at home. So here's your 3-pin plug one, so it's just plugged into the wall, and if you take the end of it, you see it's we've got a trigger on it. Take this and we plug it in there, and then you'll see the car makes lots of beeping noises, and at least if it's got one of the lights flashing, that means it's charging. And to turn it off, quite easy, just come back to it, press the button, and you'll see that once you press the button and pull it out, the lights go off. By the way, those lights are, if one's on, it's a third full, 2 on, 2/3 full, 3 on, full, and they'll go out after a while, after the battery's balanced. So yeah, and then the reverse to finish it off, let's just close that and down. Always just make sure that that's locked and down. So that's how to charge an early Nissan Leaf. So let's show you the controls of this early Nissan Leaf. I've got the key in my pocket. So all you need to do to open it is press the button on the outside. So it was already open, so that's locking it. So it's lock and unlock. Or you can use the buttons on the remote. So you've got unlock in the middle and lock at the top. Door handle open. First thing we see is the window control. So you've got your 2 rear windows, 2 front windows. You've got the button that locks the back windows, so that then passengers can't mess on with the windows. Then you've got the unlock button and the door lock. That button there folds in the mirrors. That'll only work when the ignition's on. And then this button here is your mirror controls. So if it's in the centre, it won't work. Turn it to the right, it's a joystick and it moves around. Turn it to the left, that controls your left mirror. So that's the door controls. Next controls here, this button down here turns the ultrasonic detectors off, so that if you had left a pet in the car, then you could press that button and the alarm, you could lock the doors and the alarm wouldn't get set off by the dog moving around, or cat, whichever is your preference. This one here is to turn the charge timer off, so you can set in the car for the car to only charge at certain times. If you've got that set and you want to charge outside those times, instead of having to go through the whole screen, you can just press that button and it'll turn it off. This one's a traction control. That turns the traction control off. And then up here, you've got the control buttons for the menus on the dash, which I'll come on to next. So as promised, here's how to use these buttons down here. So one is the trip button. So you see at the bottom there, if you press trip, you got A, B, trip. So if you press trip, it's on B, and then if I keep that held down, it'll put it to 0. This one here on the bottom right is the brightness of the dash. So you can go up in increments as how bright you want the dash. And then the top left one selects all the menus, so you can see it shows you how much energy it's using, and that's in kilowatt hours per mile. So it's 0.25, which equates to 4 miles per kilowatt hour. It tells you your average speed, it tells you your driving distances and elapsed time. And again, you can press the set button, reset button, and then This is where you've got all the different setting menus, and you use the dot button top right to navigate through those. And then when you want to select one of those menus, so let's say alarms, you press the other button, the menu button, and that's how you navigate through them. And then that's it. So how long till charge, miles per kilowatt hour, and average speed, trip distances, and then your menus. So that's how to use that. So what's next? So let's get in and show you the next bit. So get in and close the door. And to start the car, make sure you got your foot on the brake. I don't know if you can see this very well, there's not very light. Accelerator on the right, brake in the middle, just 2 pedals. Just don't use your left leg. Right foot on the brake, and then you just need, as long as you've got the key in your pocket or in your bag or in the car with you, press the stop start button, and everything will light up. The dash will light, you'll hear lots of noises, and as long as you see that symbol of the green car with the arrows at the top there, then that will mean that the car is ready to go. So, steering wheel first, screen. So, left hand one over here, this side is all your cruise control and speed limiter settings. So you press that left hand side one and you see on the dash it comes up just there on the left, says cruise. All you do is whatever speed you want to set it, you do your speed, you press set, and then you can adjust it up and down, faster and slower. And then if you press the brake or the accelerator, it'll cut out, and you can press resume and it'll take it back up. You can, once it's set, you can press cancel and it'll cancel it. And very much the same thing on the left hand side, it's speed limiter. So that would stop the car from going above a certain speed. This side is your radio controls. So I'll show you how to pair the phone. So when you're on menu, if you go to phone, and then once this message disappears, you go to pair phone, and it'll give you all the instructions that you need to pair your Bluetooth phone with the system. And then once you've done that, you press aux, and that'll come up and let you play any of your music or whatever from your phone onto the stereo. This allows you to change the radio station. So let's see what's on here. So there, if you press that button, it goes up and down the presets, and it does the same with CDs. Talking of CDs, to get to the CD player, you press the open tilt button. Come on, and your CD slot is in there. Anyway, so that's your volume controls there as well. So quieter, louder. This is voice control, which doesn't really work, so it's not something that we show people how to use. And that's your, like I said, your source buttons, and that's your play and pause button at the top. So that's your steering wheel. Then in your stalks, on this side you've got your wipers. So one place down is auto, and then you've got your 2 different speeds. So just leave that on auto, and if it senses any rain, it'll put the wipers on. This is how long it takes between sweeps, and then this is the rear. So you turn it to intermittent or fully on. To get the washer, you turn it all the way around, and to get the washer on the front, you pull it towards you. I'll not do it, otherwise it'll put it all over the windscreen. This side is your lights and indicators. So your indicators left and right. Again, you got off, but if you put it on auto, when it senses it's dark, it'll put your headlights on for you, or you can put side lights, main lights. And then this is fog lights, so that's front fogs, and then that's rear fogs, and you can see it coming up on the dash as and when you do that. So I'll put that back to auto. And then you got your infotainment system, which has all the information, everything. If you want to see anything about kind of EVs, and the climate controller and the charge timer in here, so that's where you can set the heating coming on at certain times and the charger only working at certain times. And then any other kind of settings and stuff are in there. Your menu gives you access to your sat nav, so you press route, and then that's where you can do all your sat nav stuff. you can just click on map and it goes to map. They're a bit outdated, but they do work okay. And then this side is your audio controls, so your radio, CD, Bluetooth auxiliary, and your volume control. And if you want to, you can just turn it all off, and that just turns the audio off. Down here is your heater controls. This all displays on the screen, so if you want to press auto, and then you just set the actual temperature that you want, and it'll keep the car at that temperature. You will notice though that, so the car's showing 54 miles, it's fully charged at the moment. If you press the heat, turn the heating on, auto, it goes down to 48, so it does take quite a bit of range out. So obviously if you've got a low amount of range on the car and you go on a distance, and you might want to turn the heating off. Anyway, this is where you can, if you want to manually do auto, decides where to put in the heat and how to do everything depending on what temperature you've set it at. But then if you want to change the modes, that's where you can get kind of the different kind of the windscreen, things like that. Your fan controls here, and then you've got, and you can see that on the screen, and you've got fresh air or recirculate, and you can turn the AC on and off, and you've got rear heater, that's rear demister, and that's the front demister. So I'll just turn that off because we don't need it at the moment. Great. And then down here is, oh, it's decided to turn itself back on again. You've got connectors for USB down there, and you've got another connector over here which I'll not open because nobody ever really does. That's for plugging in the audio feed. Now here's one of the things that gets a little bit confusing. So if you wanted, this is how to just change forward, neutral and reverse. So to go forward, you pull it across and back, and you'll see it goes into D, and on the dash it shows a D as well. And if you want to put it into neutral, you pull it across and hold it, and you see it goes into N and N on the dash. And then to go reverse, you go across and forwards, and that puts it into reverse and brings the camera up on the actual screen. And then once you've finished driving, you can either turn it off and it'll put itself into park, or you can press P, and you'll see it goes into, on the indicator, P there and P on the dash. All the handbooks and everything live in there with the lock and wheel nut key. And the handbrake, you don't need to put it on, you can press it as long as it's in park, it'll stay still on a flat surface, even on an incline. If you're on a really steep hill and you wanted to turn the handbrake on, you pull that up and you'll hear it engage and the red light comes on. And to turn it off, you press it, make sure your foot's on the brake, press it down, and it goes off. You'll hear a whirring noise at the back when the electric handbrake's going on and off. So I think that's everything. I can't think of anything else that you would need to know. It's kind of a quick start to it. If you need to know anything else, just give us a shout.